Shut up!
Welcome to-
Shut up! Shut up!
Let's get started!
Welcome to the Drowning in Pools podcast, episode 69. Let's get this over with already. First things first, Spider-Man, the separate but equal edition got announced.
I shouldn't be laughing at that. It is funny as fuck, though.
It's fucking hilarious. It's probably the funniest thing.
I still just love the fucking Twitter interaction with Insomniac.
Well, it's because they had a press release where it's basically literally what they said.
I know. And they're like, oh no, it's not gonna be that. And then source.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right, so the story behind that. The story behind that is a bunch of people started arguing about if the game was going to be a standalone game or not, and then
It wasn't an argument. It was a bunch of people at Sony don't know what the fuck the situation is, and they all kept calling it different shit. And they all kept saying it's standalone,
So then the public
it's DLC,
all started saying a bunch
it's an expansion,
Yeah.
it's the same game but like a special edition, it's a sequel. It's like, no, it's basically DLC, I think.
and then Insomniac was like, it's a
Yeah.
standalone game, and then some random dude on Twitter
Source.
goes,
It's like,
source? With a
Insomniac,
question
the people
mark?
who made the game.
right here, here's
Yeah.
your source.
A little silly.
All right, so there's that.
But yeah, the Sony PlayStation 5 event happened where they showed off the girth of the beast that is the PlayStation 5. I mean, I don't know, they couldn't have shown me, I don't know, this is like the ultimate wait till the next generation comes out, like the next version of this comes out, because it's
Because of
a big fat monstrosity.
okay, so I'm probably the only person who kind of likes the design.
I'm pretty neutral on it.
Not the CD disc. Yeah, fuck the CD disc design, but the one without the CD, the digital version, is cool.
I mean, it's gonna
I like
sit
it.
under my fucking desk for 15 years. You know, I'm never even really gonna look at it, so I'm not really worried about what it looks like.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm just caring about the fans. Like, it looks like it's going to
Yeah.
run well, is what I'm saying. Like, because of the design, I think it's going to disperse heat properly, so it can do all the shit that it wants
a
to
big
do.
fucking metal box, and it could have dispersed heat properly. It didn't need to look like a vase.
Wait, hold up a second. That sounds like a PC.
Oh yeah. Weird
Huh.
how that works.
Weird.
How everything's just trying
Huh.
to be a big, huge PC nowadays.
I think it's funny, and I know I've said this before, in that unless you're trying to play exclusives, fucking just build a PC. Like,
Yeah,
you can build a comparable one for cheaper,
yeah.
and then you
And-
can just get an
and-
Xbox or a PS4 controller to plug in. Like,
And these days, the way Sony is acting, ain't gonna be two more fucking exclusives except for on Nintendo shit. Cause like the like they're putting they're putting Horizon Zero Dawn on there, and they're promising a few of these games that they just showed are gonna be on the PC. You know, so it's like, you know, if you just want all this shit, just get a PC. If you want all that power, just get a PC.
yeah, it's one of those things where I could totally see a lot of the like game manufacturers moving, like the console manufacturers moving towards being like Steam / console rather than just
Yeah.
being console exclusive. Because at
Where like a PC version becomes the norm. It
yeah,
becomes like expected.
it's like how Doom was back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's one of those things where it doesn't make sense to me
So-
to have consoles anymore. Well, to have console exclusives anymore when, like in an age where everybody has a computer, you know?
Yeah.
So, I think I like console exclusives if they did a what's it called, backwards compatibility type thing. So like if there's a back catalog of games that's going to be ported over to the new system, that makes sense to have exclusives because hey, guess what? You keep the people who've been playing your solo games for years, and they can still play your solo games.
That's basically
for
what
years.
Microsoft is doing now with like the new Halo game, where they were like, it's gonna be backwards compatible on everything, whatever, forever. You know, so
Yeah,
and like I think they said that they're gonna do it with like a bunch of their games. Although I think some companies were like, no, we don't want you to do that. Some publishers and some dev teams or whatever. So,
But I mean, like, I think that's a really just big win for Microsoft to do that with their flagship title. Like, Halo is the only thing that I think of when I think of Xbox, right?
mm-hmm.
So it's like, not only can I play Halo on any fucking Xbox system that's gonna come out, I can play it on my PC now. Halo 2 just got released for the Master Chief Collection, and oh baby, that's some good shit. Like,
oh baby. So since we're talking about it, it just didn't get mentioned at all in this Future of Gaming show PS5 release thing. Backwards compatibility. They didn't say.
Not. I mean, they mentioned it in the what's called the. I forget the term for it, but when they broke down what the system's capable
system
of.
spec shit.
Yeah, and even that, I don't
that stream,
like the fact that they really didn't talk about it. They kind of just listed it off. I'm like.
Yeah, they're like, this is a thing that we're working for, and then that was.
They've been slowly dialing back the talk of backwards compatibility for a while now.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where, as much as I really, really want to not have to rely on it, I might just rely on emulation. Like, I'll buy the game itself, and then I'll just emulate it.
Yeah.
So that way I can legally say, oh, like, I own the game, therefore I can emulate it. But I'm not gonna fucking put money towards your system.
Yeah. That they're really kneecapping themselves with that shit. And I knew they were gonna fuck it up. I think I even said like I can't wait to see Sony fuck up the backwards compatibility shit. And they are.
When we inevitably get insanely huge and we have a ton of fans, I want somebody to put those together in a compilation. Actually, I would like somebody to put all the shit you've said like 5 weeks in advance to shit that's happening into a compilation, so I can just watch an hour of that. But
that's what happens when you're a cynic. You just kind of see the future because it sucks.
It's just Deshaun predictions and Cameron's too much happiness.
We're like the complete opposite of what you say happens.
It's like, oh yeah, Cameron predicts everything correctly if you take the opposite of what he says.
hey man, that's a superpower too.
Yeah, it's kind of like what's his name? 2020 hindsight man.
Yeah.
Then me and Deshaun are gonna be on a road trip. It's like, don't worry about it. You won't die today.
You know what that reminds me of? Fucking American Dragon Jake Long, those twins, where
American Dragon.
the gloomy one can see everything happy, and the happy one can only see sadness. No, nothing.
I don't remember that.
Okay, well.
You know what?
I don't remember.
The only thing I remember about that show, because I don't think I really watched that much, was his original design, where he was like a big buff dragon man, and he fought in the first episode, he fought the super awesome badass king of dragons, and he beat him in a fight, and then that was it. And then I remember the next time I saw it was the redesign where he has like Chinese dragon look.
Yeah, I was not as much of a fan as that one. But my only thing I remember was the training montage of where he's going through all the hoops and learning how to do his flight patterns for the first time.
I tried to watch that show front to back, and it was never ever on in sequence on Disney.
It couldn't have been.
I feel like that show shouldn't have been on in sequence.
Every time I saw it, it was just like some completely random bullshit that had nothing to do with anything. It was the most like contained episode shit ever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I really wanted to, because they did have overarching plot lines and plot threads, and like it was cool because there was like it was like the stupidest, simplest shit ever, but as a kid I really liked it. where it was like the girl was the bad guy, but she wasn't really bad, and he was the good guy, and blah blah blah. And then she got captured, and that's like the latest episode I saw was when she got captured.
Oh yeah, there was that one girl that he was like, man, I sure do want to stick my dragon penis in that, but he never got to.
Can we just
The
not?
only reason why I think I didn't like American Dragon as much is because I
Oh
watched
yeah,
Shaolin
that was a
Showdown,
good show.
Yeah,
and that's like just a better
American
version.
Dragon-
Shaolin Showdown was like close to being. Wait, when did it come out before or after Avatar?
It was
The Last
before.
Airbender?
I think it was
Before.
like
Was it
2001.
before?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like almost Avatar: The Last Airbender before Avatar: The Last Airbender with some of like the plot lines it was trying to go with. It had some like pretty complex
Yeah.
storylines and character shit that it was working with.
2003 to 2006, and Avatar: The
2008,
Last Airbender
right?
Was 2005 to 2008. So yeah, just 2 years before.
And then they were kind of overlapping for a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked American Dragon Jake Long because it was one of the few shows that showed an interracial couple that was actually relevant to me, because the mom and the dad are
Oh, that makes
like
that
white
makes sense.
and he's Chinese, but like my mom's Japanese, so it was like, oh, I can kind of identify with that. Although he looked way more Asian than I do, so I didn't really get to identify with the main character so much. Yeah, I also can't turn into a dragon, sadly. So
You know.
Oh, man, I thought
no,
that was
it's
an
a Chinese
Asian
thing.
thing.
Japanese people just get
It's an-
immense amounts
gotcha.
of depression.
It's an Asian thing to transform into a Western style dragon.
Yeah, of course. That's it.
That was always
Makes sense,
baffling
makes
about that
sense.
show. I don't know why. I do actually appreciate that they redesigned the dragon to look at least like it came from the right part of the fucking world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked how Grandpa was always an Asian, like wispy ass dragon though.
Yeah,
That was cool as shit.
They should have brought Eddie Murphy in to do a guest voice. Would've been funny.
What
Shit,
the
since we're talking
fuck?
about those fucking old cartoons,
You're-
so Shaman King is coming back.
Oh, god damn it.
I heard about this.
I guess they're gonna try to do. They're gonna Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood this shit and do basically one that's
okay.
more in line with how the manga went.
No,
believe.
no.
More,
So
was the manga more what's it called, more
I'll say
audience driven towards other kids?
No. It was still
not really. It was kind of
No.
the same
But
level of like.
the issue with the manga is that it ended insanely poorly.
Yeah, I will say I think I actually do. I like where they were going with the manga version more, because I do appreciate more what they did with it, but just the kind of way it suddenly just fucking happened.
Yeah.
There's no build up to it at all.
It's like
And it's like, oh, okay, I guess they just kind of got the four most powerful souls in the fucking world or whatever. But why?
and then he still loses.
Yeah, and then they still lose. But I guess he had like the number one god one or whatever, so of course they lost. But I do appreciate that they kind of redeemed him without redeeming him, I guess.
Yeah.
But it
I don't
just
know.
kind of comes out of nowhere, and there's no build up to it. And the one in the anime is kind of more appropriate with how fast it ended. If you were going to end it right there, they wouldn't be so quick to be like, oh, come on, Zeke, let's be buddies, you know? They'd be like, let's kill this motherfucker now. Which is what they did, basically. Well, I guess they blew him up, but they're bringing it back.
Nice.
There's also the sequel manga, Shaman King Flower.
Oh shit, I need to
I
read
wanna
that.
say. It's okay. I've only read like, I want to say like the first arc, and people tell me it gets a lot better. It's all right. It's about Yo and Anna's kid, who they had at like what, 14?
I think she's 15.
How old were they at the end of? Yeah, she's like 15. He's 16, I think. It was like at the end of the series or whatever. Like right before he went off to go do the tournament or whatever. they slept together and had a kid, and she got pregnant from that, and now they had a kid, and that's what this story's about. And he's like a little asshole, I guess. But you know, it's one of those stories. It's Boruto, but for Shaman King. Even though Shaman King ended before Naruto.
Them sequel, dude. They had to wait for other people to pave the path for sequels before they could do it mediocrely.
It's super weird.
I don't know.
I don't want to see like One Piece do that shit too. You know, I don't want to see a 2-piece.
I swear to God, if One Piece ends in 15 years from now, when One Piece ends 15 years from now, it better not have a spin-off sequel.
It will.
All answers should be answered.
Be about either Luffy and Hancock's kid, who wants to be a Marine, and he wants to be like an admiral or some bullshit.
Luffy can't have a child.
Or
I don't give.
It'll be about some other character's kid, and he'll want to be whatever the fuck, and he'll build a crew.
Look, it's gonna be Sanji and
Wrong.
Nami.
Wrong.
And then Zoro.
Read the manga, you fucking fool. God.
I have no idea. I am like 7 years behind.
I'm sorry,
in
One Piece fans.
Right
this
now.
fool knows nothing about pudding. He hasn't read the whole cake arc. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Forgive me.
Oh fuck! Goddamn spoilers!
Well, you should have read the manga, I guess.
I should have. Like I'm on episode like 900 right now, or 800.
Okay,
something
okay.
Like that.
Attack on Titans fans aside, let's.
Ooh, Attack on Titan.
But
It's coming back too.
Dude, I have like the first 22 volumes that I bought from Humble Bundle like a while ago. Tell me why, like, fuck all gets answered in 22 volumes.
Because each mystery just opens the door to a new mystery.
Yeah, that's
where
not.
You're like,
it's not compelling
where, like,
storytelling.
They tell you something, and then it's like, okay, but that didn't really answer anything. Like, why is this happening? Like, there's no. It's just showing you more of the results of the original thing that caused all this to happen, instead of showing you what caused all this to happen.
I think the funniest thing was, so the last one that I have, which might be 24, it might be 22. They finally show where the Titans come from, but they don't really show.
I believe it's over. I think.
Oh,
Or
really?
at least it's about to be over. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, thank God.
Because this is the last season, and I want to say the author posted like the final panels, like I want to say during last season started, so that was like a few months ago, I think. So it might be over by now.
So it's one of those things where, like, that was the most intriguing thing, and they should have just started on that sooner. There's way too much depression in that series for how many people die.
It's a big bummer series, but I think I like it still because when they're able to make stuff pay off that isn't like the main story, whatever, but like the little moments between the characters, when like you've got the spoilers for Attack on Titan. You've got like the Armor Titan, and you've got and the Colossal Titan in their human forms, and they're kind of like they're fucked up by the fact that they have to kill so many people that they've come to know and love and shit like that. And you know, you've got the moments where Eren is like, you've got like those classic shonen moments where Eren learns a move, and you know, he learns it in training, and as he's getting his ass kicked in a fight later, he's like, oh, that's right, I can do this, you know, and he turns it around. Those are always nice moments.
I guess. I don't know.
Plus, it's Flesh Gundams, you know, like it's just Gundams. Like the way the special Titans work that you can become, it's like, oh, it might as well just be this person jumping into a cockpit, you know.
I guess. I don't know. For how often people die in that series, I feel like they try to like weigh on the like fragility of human human emotion and stuff. It's just like, if I felt like that for every fucking thing in my real life, I would just not want to get out of bed. Admittedly, I don't want to get out of bed, but that's just because it's comfy. Like,
yeah.
It's one of those things.
Isn't that the whole point though? Like, this isn't about people who would give up. It's about people who would fight on and, you know, be willing to throw their life into the fucking
exactly. So
mulcher.
Stop bitching about it and do it.
But they do though, right? Like, they get killed anyway, but then they do.
No, but then they're like, oh God, what happened? It's like, you've been living this situation for 20 years. How do you not know what happened? Motherfucker died.
how are you not like Levi at this point, who's just completely numb to everything and doesn't feel shit?
Yeah.
Who's just like whatever.
It's
Like,
like
yeah, like
look,
everybody who's lasted this long should be a fucking cold hard badass who just kills the fuck out of these things like no problem, because
or just
they
like
don't give a shit
give
anymore.
it one moment after like a long period where they're doing that, and then it's like, okay, I understand that, but like,
But it's like, all right, one guy got eaten, and the Titans are right there, still eating his ass,
Yeah.
and we really gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
But they want to stop and cry on a roof for 10 minutes.
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I like the show, but I'm not one of those guys who's gonna be like, man, it's the fucking most amazing thing ever. It's like revolutionizing anime and manga or whatever the fuck. It's like, nah, it's just a kind of, it's got it's a story with like good beat to beat moments, but overall it's kind of like whatever. The overarching plot, it's like,
I think one of my biggest issues with it and stories in general is very few stories feel like they need every single chapter to tell the story.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I have a big issue with that too, where it's just like fluff, and it's like, you didn't need this shit, get it out of here.
yeah. Well, it's like one of the best manga for like having just the perfect amount of chapters is Rurouni Kenshin. Every single chapter is like relevant to the overall plot somehow.
Yeah.
It is so fucking amazing, and that manga is only like 300 chapters long.
Yeah, like you really don't get like too long like training arcs in Rurouni Kenshin, if you get any at all.
Yeah.
But I also think that's like a staple of older like the, well, not older, but necessarily like those like that 90s era series, because I was watching Yu Yu Hakusho, and it kind of has the same thing where Yusuke is gone for 6 months, but we just like that training is over in one episode essentially. It just,
Yeah.
we get the rest of the training in flashbacks, but the story is paced in such a way that it keeps on moving without making us stick around in one spot for too long.
I want to talk about this because it's one of the things that annoys me the most, and I think Yu Yu Hakusho did it really well, was they give appropriate amount of times to learn new techniques.
Oh yeah.
Because this was one of
Yeah.
the biggest things that
Yeah.
pissed me off in Naruto, was that Naruto would just know a technique, like, when there's no time to learn a new one,
Here's the thing about Naruto. Originally, it was the whole hard work thing where you would take time to learn the move, and you would go off and
He spent like 6 months learning Rasengan.
Yeah, no.
Like Shadow-
I'm not talking
like,
about
like-
the original
Yeah.
one. I'm talking about
I know.
shit like the end of Shippuden.
Right, exactly. Where he's just kind of like,
Fucking
all right,
gone.
God.
I've mastered the fucking the tailed beast powers, and now I can just use new moves willy nilly. And like this thing, fucking the genius fourth Hokage couldn't do, I did in like 6 hours.
Yeah, well, it's like in the
know?
fucking like Sage Mode shit where he trained for like a week or something,
Yeah.
and he got it
He's
better
already
than
mastered
Jiraiya. Like,
Yeah.
I understand they need a way to make him powerful, but like, could they not have delayed that shit by like at least a few months?
Right. Could they have at least like, I don't know, show
It probably came down to, hey, look, if you don't do something in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're taking your show or your thing off first page.
Well, even because even the whole excuse they tried to use before, where it's like, oh, he's just using the experience of all the shadow clones he made, right?
Yeah.
But that stops working later on when you're like, oh, you can only do this training with 10 shadow clones. It's like, all right, well, if one shadow clone can do like 3 days of training, and you make 10, it's
Still only a month.
It's gonna take you like a year to figure out how to do this move. Otherwise you still got a while.
Well,
but
and
he's
like
just
they
doing
don't
this
even
shit, like, a
introduce
few
that
hours.
until Shippuden. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and it's like halfway through Shippuden too. I just like
before it was like, yeah, you need to train to learn these moves, and maybe the tailed fox would give you like a bit of an edge or a clever way to use this ability in a way you didn't expect. Not just, here's a Dragon Ball Z power up, now your Rasengans are planet sized.
Yeah, it's
have at it.
It's one of those things. I don't mind like pulling something out of your ass every once in a while when it's like last ditch effort. Like, maybe this will work. I don't
Because
mind
that's
that.
what makes this shit exciting, right?
Yeah, but like,
when it's just all the time.
Usually a last-ditch effort is last-ditch, so that means you're either going to be reprimanded for
Or
it
killed.
in some sort of way, or
Yeah.
killed, or, hey, guess what? Your arm is gone now.
yeah. Well, it's just
Something
like
of that nature.
the entire
remember when
like
he made
last
Rasen
100
Shuriken?
chapters of Naruto are just people constantly introducing new shit on the fly.
Yeah, just non-stop new powers, new abilities, new shit. Even stuff that like is coming back, like Sasuke getting the Rinnegan. It's like, all right, now Sasuke has Rinnegan powers that we didn't even see Pain using, and Pain was like 9 dudes.
Yeah. Or like
You know?
the fucking the fourth Hokage with the like, oh, I stole half the QB, and like,
I still have the other half in my body.
yeah, and then he's like, oh yeah, and like Kuruma will tell you how to use this ability. It's like, where was he?
Bro,
Like,
when
I
he
understand.
shows up
I understand he's a
for the
demon
first
fox and shit,
time-
but like, come on, the planet is about to be destroyed. You telling me he wouldn't be like, hey Naruto, I got this thing up my sleeve? Like,
when he does it, when he shows up and then he does it for the first time out of nowhere with no explanation yet, I'm like, I was screaming so fucking much. I was laughing my ass off. It's like fucking fan fiction shit.
Yeah.
Where you're running out of ideas, so you're just throwing everything, every kind of combination, every kind of cool thing you can at the wall. You're like, ooh, what if the fourth Hokage could become a fucking Nine-Tailed Super Saiyan 2? Oh shit! What if Sasuke got fucking Rinnegan? Oh shit! You know, it's like completely pointless. Yeah,
No,
like that,
no,
that kind of
what
worthless.
it is he went to his notepad from the first chapter. He's like, huh. What if, like, asking all, when you first start creating a story, you ask all those questions. What if this can happen down the line?
Right.
He's like, I'll just take this sticky note, and I'll take this sticky note, and I'll take this sticky note.
Because the thing is like they wanted him to end it way earlier than he did, right?
Yeah.
So way earlier than he wanted to, and then my bad, I said that wrong. I'm stupid. He wanted to end it way earlier than he ended up doing it because Shonen Jump wanted him to keep pushing it, or Jump just wanted him to keep pushing it. So instead of ending it at the perfect defeat of Obito moment after Sasuke and Naruto have worked together, now Madara has to be teamed up against. So now Sasuke and Naruto have to work together again to beat this guy. But except now it's Kaguya, so now Sasuke and Naruto have to work together to beat Kaguya. You know, it's like
So, I've
come on,
only
bro.
watched the end of the show through people playing the games.
yeah.
And one thing that always makes me laugh is seeing all the villains become friends.
oh, like
Even-
talk
and-
no
and-
jutsu
and
that
not
shit.
even just friends. Not even just
Comrades.
friends, like completely like, all right, all your crimes, forget them.
They showed up to his wedding.
Like, unbelievable. Orochimaru fucking destroyed the village.
Destroyed
He killed.
the village.
It's like it's like if Osama bin Laden showed up, shot Bush, and then like helped beat helped us beat North Korea or whatever, helped beat Kim Jong Un, and then we were like, all right, well, I guess it's cool. You did 9/11 and shot Bush, but you know you helped us beat Kim Jong Un, so works out. It's like
but also
like he's-
remember he has a rocket launch with a nuke attached to him at all times as well. So he could just fire that as anytime he
Bro.
wants.
it's insane, completely nuts.
But
Like,
no. Just let him walk around in our just anywhere he wants.
I mean,
So, yeah, like, they say they put him on, like, watch in Boruto. They're like, oh, we got him on watch outside the village. But guess who's watching him? Fucking Yamato, the #1 jobber in all of Naruto.
Also, the guy who got possessed or some shit like that.
The guy who literally got captured by a guy who's, like, 100 times stronger than, Orochimaru. And it was like, I don't know, dude. It's,
Oh, it's just.
yeah. That's like, all of Sasuke's little war crime buddies, Jugo, fucking what's his
Suigetsu.
face, Suigetsu, and Karen.
The show
They-
has
they're
too
all
much
let-
fluff.
They're
Too much
all let
fluff.
go.
Yeah.
I mean, Naruto's the ultimate fluff show.
But
Dude,
know what show
I don't
doesn't
know
have
about
enough
that.
Fluff? You know
Oh,
what show
well, kind of
doesn't
the
have
filler.
what show is that?
What, Cameron?
Tower of God.
Oh,
It's a great show, but it needs more fluff.
I haven't caught up on it. I've just kind of given up on it. I think in my head.
So I caught up on it, and they're going a lot of places with it that are really cool, but they haven't given enough details about what's going on. So it's just like, oh, okay, I guess this is happening now.
Yeah, I was getting that vibe too on those first few episodes where it's like, I I don't really care about the mystery of this at all. I don't really care about the mysteries of the tower. Stop trying to make everything seem so like. Stop trying to make the world seem so like weird and completely unknown.
Yeah, that's the thing is that they're making the world like have a lot of depth to it, but the problem is they're showing none of it. Mm-hmm. So you're like, okay, so I just assume this guy has this power now. I don't know why or how he has that power, but he has it.
It's like, where do powers come from? Whatever.
What can powers do? Yeah.
Here's our kind of half-assed explanation of the way the power set works, and like what is it like scout and all that shit where you have like classes
and like so those are like the thing that makes the most sense.
Yeah. Everything
outside of God powers makes sense. And then it's like, oh yeah, but my sensu allows me to do this. Here we go again with the whole fucking shit. My power allows me to do it. It's like having quirks but not explaining how quirks work.
Right. It's like having a quirk that you've mastered and learned to make work, like Mirio's quirk, but then you just don't really explain how it works.
Like
you're like, how is he diving through the floor and then also shooting at us like a bullet?
Chemical X.
Like, nah.
Chemical X.
Yeah, Chemical X. Just magic.
Okay, but how's he shooting fire out at Chemical X? But is it the same thing? Yeah. But why is it doing different things?
Like if the powers of this world follow certain rules, how is this guy breaking the rules?
Like there's just like that's the thing is there's no rules yet. Like no one set rules, and that makes it so like it just there's a lot of things that making it fall apart right now.
They've like hinted at rules, like with the roles and stuff, and like with the classes, but there's really no like concrete like here's how shit works.
So small spoilers without actually spoiling anything. Do you guys care? I don't think. Yeah, I know you don't care at this point.
I've been zoned out for 5 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, so you throw a Tower of God.
Here's a spoiler warning, real quick. There you go. All right. So there's a new character that came out who can shoot a bunch of different kind of animals out of his mouth and crazy, ridiculous shit. Right?
That's hot.
Yeah, but guess what? Cool. No explanation. Got it. Roger. And then
like where do the animals come from?
So like
Can he just keep making cheeseburgers? That's the real question.
No, literally that's a thing that happens in the show.
There's a guy
whose
bag can infinitely copy shit. So he one of his teammates loves chocolate bars. So he puts the chocolate bar in his bag and it infinitely copies chocolate bars for the dude to eat.
So yes, cheeseburgers can be made infinitely.
Infinitely.
Well, now you have my attention.
But so like the newest episode was all about how the rules can be changed on a whim. Literally, that was the newest episode.
Great. So it's it always baffles me when a series spends so much time like establishing its rules, and then it spends the rest of the series acting like those rules didn't exist, or they, there's subverting the rules and being and introducing a new concept into the world that blows everyone's minds, and then there's just completely ignoring the rules so somebody can do a thing.
So my thing is rules are meant to be bent, not broken when it comes to storytelling.
Yeah.
You can bend the rules almost as much as you want, as long as it doesn't break the rules.
I think fucking the Dragon Quest movie did this at the very end of the movie where it just breaks the rules.
Yeah, because the game got hacked.
Yeah, and it's like okay,
or some sort of like
virus and because now it's this absolutely outside force. It's like, all right, now I don't really care now. Yeah. I've completely lost investment in the story because it's just some asshole who has nothing to do with anything really, who has nothing to do with the story that was being told here. You know, and it turned in. The twist turns out it was all bullshit and it was all for nothing, and it was just a waste of time. It's like, well,
have fun with that.
But yeah, Tower of God, it sucks, so don't watch it.
Tower of God, it's pretty good, but be careful about some things. It's rough in some areas.
Yeah. Sucked though.
It's
Hey,
rough
speaking
and
of shows that are kind of good, but not really. So I watched season 2 of Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts.
Uh-huh.
So first season was pretty good. That last episode was a little rushed because a lot of shit happens. Second season starts out kind of rough because they introduce like a love interest for one of the like comic relief characters, and I rolled my fucking eyes because I was afraid they were gonna have this character around for like the whole season, but they didn't come back to like the last episode, thankfully. So in relation to how we were talking about, redeeming absolutely evil characters or kind of just ignoring their crimes in Naruto, here you get a character where they attempt to make him sympathetic and they almost get it, and then it kind of just generically becomes no, I'm the bad guy thing, and but there's another season coming where they reveal actually the humans were the villains all along.
My stomach just growled so loud it got on the track.
That's cool. I'll make it bigger so everybody will hear it.
Oh, baby. Yeah, it's almost like humans are always the bad guys.
It's super weird. Like when they start kind of introducing the idea, it becomes obvious that's the idea because they start showing the villain more often. They start showing how crafty and resourceful he is, and and how he's been able to get this far, which is super cool. I actually like that. I want to see why the villain is a match for the hero, or vice versa,
For sure.
But eventually they start kind of hinting at he's got this tragic past, and then you learn about it, and you're like, well, all right, so he's not the bad guy then. So who's the bad guy? Is it these humans who've been acting like assholes for like the last 6 episodes? Probably. And then of course, it becomes obvious that it becomes revealed that the humans are the bad guys, even though they kind of aren't because they're in a fucked up situation, which a lot of these newer shows are doing, where nobody is the bad guy. Everyone's just kind of in a fucked up situation, and it's like, all right, somebody's got to be the bad guy eventually. But I don't know. It's mostly enjoyable because the characters are well written and they're fun, and the writing is kind of like, it's never dour or anything, so it's always pretty chipper. Characters do some like weird shit though, where Kipo, the main character, will 1 second be like, we got no time to waste, we gotta get to this fucking burrow and talk to these humans, and then in like the next scene she'll be like, what do you mean we can't stay here and just fuck around and play with toys and all that shit.
Those are my questions.
Well, if you were asking, hey, we have no time to waste, we gotta hurry up and get somewhere, and you were yelling at everybody and begging them to hurry up, but then suddenly you're all, now let's chill, It's a little annoying when you keep doing that 9 or 10 times. But it was alright, I guess. I wouldn't shit on it. Not as much as I'd shit on, like, something that's actually bad.
Speaking of which, saw Frozen 2 this week.
Really?
Yeah. Because...
How was that?
It was... So it was the same feeling that I got when I saw the announcement for it, and I saw the first trailer, and it told me fuck all, which is, this is going to have nothing to do with the actual characters, is it? And lo and behold,
those sequels.
Lo and behold, it did add stuff, but it like raised more questions than it answered, really. And then it took. Actually, does anyone give a fuck if I spoil it? We'll put
no,
spoiler warning.
I will never, ever,
Spoiler
ever,
warning.
ever watch Frozen.
All right. So, at the end of the day, Elsa ends up being like a spirit or some shit. Like that's the explanation for her winter powers. But like, it's
what, like a god?
No,
Or
like a natural
like
like
a nature
ice spirit.
entity?
Yeah,
She is a fey creature.
something like that. Like,
Hey, you can't say that on this podcast, man. We're progressive here.
yeah, she's a bitch. Anyway, so no, but it's just like it's one of those things where they took her as a character, and she was getting developed super fucking well in this. Like, I actually really like the character development in like the middle of the movie, and then at the very end, they just like golf club it off of the fucking side of a cliff, Jesus. And it's just like I don't understand because they essentially made her like background now. Like they took her and they made her like this like, oh, I'm at peace with nature and I like subdued all the like other spirits. But like
her character arc is done, so now she's kind of got nothing going on.
Yeah, but the issue that I have is that they essentially just like they took away her humanity to do it. They didn't say like, oh, you're like a human who was like blessed by this ice spirit and is like being its host. It's like you're the ice spirit, and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Interesting.
If that's the case, why on God's green earth did it take her 20x odd years to figure out her powers? If she's just a reincarnation of this fucking ice spirit, it makes no sense.
The only thing I could think of, if it's like a hag, where hags don't take over the spirit until the kid has grown up enough.
It pissed me off, and then like they bumped. It was so, it was really upsetting because they took like the super optimistic and like youthful like Anna from the original movie. They bumped up her hypocrisy to like 20. On a scale of like 5, and then like they tried to make her like the wise one, but like it was all just like really retardedly done because she was like, it's like, Elsa, I don't want you endangering yourself again. It's like, at what point in the original film did Elsa ever endanger herself? Like,
Elsa was like, from what I've seen, she was in the most control out of any other character. If anything, she would just endanger everyone else.
Yeah, and she like locked
she
herself
was never in
away.
any danger at all.
She like locked herself away or like made her ice castle to like prevent herself from hurting other people, which sure is bad as far as the story was concerned, but yeah, okay, like understandable. But like she's like, I don't want you going off alone again. And it's like the only thing that happened in the last movie that when she went off alone was you fucked up and got struck in the heart by her magic. It was just like so stupid. They made her so unbearable.
The only other fuck up was she caused a like 30-day ice storm. But you know what? She can control that now.
Yeah, well,
this is like if someone in a fucking Superman movie was like, "Oh, Superman, I don't want you to get hurt." It's like, bitch.
Well, it's like I understand the idea of like, oh, you don't want to see like your family and friends get hurt, but it's like of any person in that entire group to fucking deal with, and especially when it's like Elsa is hearing voices that nobody else is hearing, and like there are these spirits that they have proof of them existing, and like they see them in front of them, and Elsa's like, I think I should follow this, you know? It's
Battle Angel Alita, where Alita kills 3 robots with their bare fucking hands, and the doctor's like, I don't want you to go out and get hurt.
Yeah, but like even worse,
you won't let
because
her be a robot and fight. It's so dumb.
And it's like, there's this point in the movie where Elsa goes into this cave and like falls down, and like she gets frozen, right? Mm-hmm. And honestly, I forget what the fuck happens, but
she gets frozen, and then the fucking credits roll.
Well, no, she gets frozen, and then like she sends like a message to Anna to like break a dam, but it was like all shit that was like, oh, we need to remember to get Anna back in this movie. It was not like it easily could have been fixed by just like not having her like just beating the freeze herself, right? Like out of anyone to
like a fucking spirit of the forest would do.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And the other fucking thing is, so they kind of explained what happened to their parents a little bit, right? They kind of did.
Yeah, they died on that boat on the way to see Tarzan's parents or whatever.
Yeah.
No. To see the cousins, the ones from the hair girl,
Rapunzel,
Tangela.
Tangela's a Pokemon.
Tangled. Yeah.
But no, and like so they find their ship in like near Arendelle, right? Like in this other like forest where it's like not supposed to be. But they like kind of explain why that was supposed to be that way, and then like but then like you never find the parents' bodies. Her mom shows up in like a vision when Elsa is going into that like ice cave, and then she just gets frozen, the dam breaks, and the movie ends. And it's just like, why? What is the point?
Wait, wasn't there a fire princess at some point?
Not in that movie.
What? I heard rumors that there would be like some sort of fire character.
There is. Yeah. It's a little lizard.
Okay, no, but there's like a fire princess thingamajig.
No.
Like a fire Elsa, essentially.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
there's
What?
not.
Those are probably just stupid, dumb rumors.
either stupid dumb rumors or bad. What's it called? Is there another character other than Elsa and Anna?
Kristoff.
Okay, I mean like other than the main.
There are no more hot waifu characters in the Frozen series. No.
Okay,
I don't
so,
believe so
what does her mom look like? Is it
Her mom is
like-
literally Elsa, but with brown hair.
Okay, so in the advertisement, it made it look
Milf.
like she was going to be the fire person.
Some summer spirit.
Yeah,
Dude, you guys
Summer
need to watch
Spirit.
Ruby if you want some of that shit. But like,
Fuck no.
but no, there's
But,
none of that shit. There,
I was like waiting this entire time. I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna bring it up. I'm gonna wait till he says something about the fire.
I was
chick.
literally thinking the exact same fucking thing. I was like, isn't there like some kind of fucking fire?
No,
girl?
there's not.
I'm like, he's
I was like,
going
doesn't
on a-
Elsa become a fire chick or something?
no.
I was like, he's going on a long time without mentioning fire at all. Does Anna become the fire chick?
I would be happier with that because then this movie would have meant something.
So
No, there's gonna be like a spin-off called like Flame or Burning or some bullshit.
okay,
It's gonna be
here's
about-
my other bullshit question I need to know. Were there gorillas on this island?
Gorillas? No.
Ice gorillas.
Okay.
No gorillas.
There were no. There was a lot of
But
like
you
elk
found-
and shit, but no gorillas.
But you found Tarzan's mom. Maybe the gorillas show up later.
Anyway, so
Why are all these movies connected like that?
like it
Why
ends
does
right.
Disney do that? Yeah.
So it ends, and she's tamed all the like nature spirits. One of them is a little like fire gecko. The water one is like it's like a horse. It's a horse made of water, which
Shouldn't-
actually the animation for that spirit was beautiful. It was
Okay.
really
what does-
impressive.
What does Elsa do? So Elsa doesn't control like ice or shit. She controls cold.
No,
Spirit of cold?
she can. It's like I think the like scientific way to describe it is that she can move water and remove the heat from it. And that's how she creates ice. I think that is the like scientific explanation because yeah, she doesn't just like create ice. She has to like move it from
Because I
somewhere.
was saying if there's like a water spirit as well, you know, wouldn't she just also control him too? If she was like
That kind of is what
Ice
happened.
okay.
Like the horse spirit was like trying to drown her, and then she like made rains out of ice, and then just
Wait,
like
what the
forced.
fuck? This is weird.
It's a weird movie. It's a weird movie.
Alright, well, the two things in the movie completely fucked me over because no fire princess. That was annoying. And then there was also no gorillas, which kind of annoys me.
Yeah. So anyway, but like the end of the movie, what I'm trying to get to, is she like runs. So Anna becomes a new queen. Like Elsa abdicates and like gives it to Anna, right? So Anna's the new queen. One, terrible fucking move. Two, then
Aren't they like 16, 17 years old?
I think Anna is in this movie. She's supposed to be like
Elsa
19.
Elsa is definitely older, isn't she?
Elsa's like
Yeah, Elsa-
a bit older.
Because
22
they're not
probably.
twins. Because I remember us talking. I think we talked about it. I thought they were twins. They're not twins.
No.
Yeah, they're not twins,
Elsa
no.
is
Oh.
3 years older, I think, canonically. She's like 21 or 22 in the first movie, and this is a year later, so she's like 23 now.
Okay.
But like, anyway, so made Anna queen, which stupid. Two, Elsa is just like a free spirit, like hippie now, who's just like riding this water horse with her little like gecko pet on top of her, and just like roaming through the land. But the issue there is that they don't set up anything. There's nothing to do with her character now, besides like come in and like do some homespun wisdom shit. Like I hate it. They took a
gonna be
fantastic
anything.
character and they just murdered the shit out of any possible movement forward they can do with it.
So what is
Sounds
the
like a
movie,
sequel.
What is the movie actually about?
Sounds like a Disney sequel to me. What is the movie actually about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Got it.
Is
okay.
No, like I
is it about like Anna and her becoming a good queen?
no.
And wife? or
No,
something?
it's about Elsa finding out that she's a fucking ice sprite. Like that's essentially the whole movie. But like
Gotcha.
you find that out like halfway in, and then she just gets more and more powerful, and then eventually she just stops being a character. She starts being background. It's just like
So what's actually like happening? Like the dam is breaking, you said?
yeah. So there's like they introduced this plot line where like so there's this forest And okay, so there's this forest to the somewhere of Arendelle, right? Like north or whatever. And it's like a magic forest. And Anna and Elsa's grandpa like met their people like long ass time ago and built a dam. And like originally it's supposed to be like a peace offering, so that way you can like cultivate the lands under it. But like realistically, what it did was it like stopped the magic from flowing as freely, and so like the land spirits got pissed, and they blocked out that like the forest. They like stopped anyone from coming in, and so like the beginning of the movie is them going into the forest trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, and like the end of it they have to blow up this dam, and then Elsa saves Arendelle, and now she's like a hippie. I don't know.
All right, so what I'm hearing is next movie, Elsa bullshit 3, Fire King gonna come and show up, attack the place,
Bro.
and then she's gonna have to defend it. But that fight scene is only going to be about a minute and a half long, and the entire rest of the movie is going to be Anna trying to like tame a horse. The entire movie. That's it.
All I want out of Anna is consistency. I don't care if she's the same character as last movie. Don't make her the exact opposite character.
Yeah. I'm going to put money down on Frozen 3 being Anna and Kristoff?
Yeah.
Her husband?
Are they together?
Her boy?
Yeah, they got...
They're
he
two
proposed
who
to
were
her
together,
at the
right?
end of this movie.
So 3 will be about their baby, but then the baby bursts into fucking flames.
There
like
you
Jack
go.
Jack, and then they're gonna have to go to Elsa to help her, get her to help control the baby, so his powers don't kill everyone they know.
But she's gonna have to teach him the opposite. Instead of control and calm your
Right.
emotions.
First,
you have
for the first part of their training or whatever, she's gonna be all kind of fucked up and do the training wrong and teach him all this wrong stuff, and then he's gonna be like, I need to learn the right way. He's gonna jump into a volcano.
Yep, I second that motion.
Frozen. So out of 10, Derek, what do you give Frozen 2?
As a movie, it's like a 6. As a fan of the original Frozen, it's like a 2. It is like, I would prefer that this movie just didn't exist. It is that bad. Like, the animation was beautiful. The songs were shitty. The fucking... Oh my god, okay, that was the other thing that pissed me off. Because it's like, Frozen is like an okay movie with like a really catchy song. Like, really, that's how it is.
A couple catchy ones, yeah.
But like, the best version of the song that like everybody knows from the movie, which is Into the Unknown, is the Brendan Urie version from the credits. Because they just... Okay, so this pisses me off on like a musical technical level.
Wait. Into the Unknown is the most well-known song?
From...
Is it not Let It Go?
From the second movie.
No.
From the second movie.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
So Brendan Urie did a cover for like, because they did this in the last movie. They got Demi Lovato to do "Let It Go" for the credits. But fucking the Into the Unknown in the movie is like, it's not a bad piece, but then they end it in like the like Broadway-iest possible, and it just kills all fucking momentum for the song, and I hate it. It is like, it's how you take like a really banging track, because like even the like orchestral version is not like bad. It's like actually really nice to listen to, but like then they fucking end it with like the super like everybody pauses for like 3 beats and then hits the down note, like the downbeat, and goes into it, and it's just like, really, why could you not think of a better way to end this and transition back into the movie? Oh, it pissed me off so bad. I hate it so much.
I find modern Disney music to be fucking piss shit ass garbage compared to those 90s films and a lot of their older stuff.
I will say one of my favorite like music tropes for Broadway type things is where everyone's doing the musical dancing, the song stops, and then everyone just slowly walks off screen while you get back to the show.
Have I even ever seen that? I hate stage plays, so I'm not sure.
I've seen it a couple times where like the song ends and they just awkwardly walk off, but like it's meant to be that awkward.
Oh yeah.
But no one takes it as awkward. Everyone's just like, yep, that's just how it goes.
I don't know.
End scene.
It was one of those things for me that like, it as a movie, like I liked the parts, but the sum was so poorly executed that I can't recommend it.
Damn.
Yeah.
See,
Take that, Frozen 2.
Which is sad because Frozen is one of my top 3 favorite movies. Like,
Oh, okay.
I have 3 favorite movies. 2 of them are by Disney. It's Zootopia, Frozen, and Deadpool. And fucking...
So you think Frozen is better even than Tangled?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Fair enough.
Okay.
I find the characters... I find Anna annoying, but she's supposed to be annoying. And I find that Elsa is very captivating in how she, like, deals with her world. And Rapunzel is just... Like, she's too witty to be that naive. Like, it's just... It doesn't add up.
Yeah, I do kind of hate that when a character seems super, like, naive and doesn't know what the fuck is going on, but then they can also somehow pull out, like, genius, like, clever jokes and, you know...
Like, go with the
Motherfucker,
flow.
you're
Be
friends with me!
sarcastic and-
You assholes!
Yeah, we hate you. Fuck
Yeah,
off.
we don't like you, Cameron.
No, it's like, there's a difference between when they're, like, written to be insanely naive and... Like, your jokes are not out of character for you.
I know.
But, like, there's some stuff in Tangled where she, like, diffuses situations that she would, after being locked in a tower for 18 years, have no, like, way to understand how to handle. Yeah. Like, if I was in those situations, I would be fucked too. And I've had 24 years of, like, living on this earth and dealing with bullshit. Like, I hate that. And, like, Elsa was a lot more, like, closer to, like, how people in that situation would actually deal with it, and I like that. Not to mention, ice powers are cool.
Like,
Yeah,
I was
that's true.
saying, I will say Elsa is treated like an actual, like, a lot of the characters acted like human beings rather than characters for the most part. That's why I like the villain in the first movie of Frozen so much, is because I'm like, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, no, it's fucking great.
If only someone loved you.
Like, yeah,
Dun,
like,
dun, dun. This obviously evil character was evil the whole time. Holy shit.
well, I mean, like, yeah, it was the obvious evil character was evil the whole time, but also, they actually just did it like that. I was not expecting him, because I was expecting
I
him to
hate
be
that
evil.
a lot. I don't
What?
like that. I really don't like that. there's
What,
no the obvious, like, he's evil the whole time.
Yeah, but I figured
Like,
he was going to be evil, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, he's gonna be villainous,
like
but it's
like
oh, wait.
cackling mad and shit, but it's more like a kind of sinister, like, oh, I'm just,
Yeah.
this isn't even really that big a deal to me. I don't really give a shit. I'm just
Yeah.
evil because, whatever.
I thought it was gonna be like an evil villain, not just I'm a dude who's trying to get rich.
Right. I'm just ambitious, and it makes me
Yeah.
an asshole. Because in Iron Man 3, like, the Mandarin not being the main villain was so fucking obvious to anyone with a fucking frontal cerebral cortex. It's like, when they show the fucking dude at the very beginning and Tony Stark's being an asshole to him, and you're like, I wonder if this fucking crippled genius is going to be the villain of this Marvel film.
This doesn't look like Ben Kingsley. Like,
Like, yeah. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I sometimes you could, it kind of works out. Look, even Samurai Jack, the most perfect show ever, has, like, this problem in one episode where Jack meets up with Ikra, and Ikra is a tall, green-skinned woman in a black and red dress, and everyone who's watched Samurai Jack for longer than 1 second knows that it's fucking Aku transformed into a large, beautiful woman.
Yep.
And it's the most obvious thing ever, but we go through this whole episode like it's supposed to be a surprise. And when it finally happens, Jack is the only one who's like, "What, Aku?"
I understand. Actually, Samurai Jack was made for, like, an older audience, right? Like,
Yeah.
Kind of, sorta. It's one of those kid shows that were made back in the day when kid shows were a little more mature. So, like you had blood showing up in Powerpuff Girls. You had, like, more violent stuff in Dexter's Lab. You had Johnny Bravo, where he was literally sexually harassing these women.
It was probably, like, made for 8 to 10-year-olds plus.
yeah. Like,
Rather than 6 to 8.
I know, like, kids are stupid, but they're not that fucking stupid. Like, you don't need to color code shit, you know?
Like, it's the most... And look, Ikra is the reason why I can't get enough of tall, short-haired women, because Gendy Tartakovsky knows how to draw some beautiful ass women.
Because I'm
And
sexually attracted to the devil, and that's just how it is.
Girl Aku was fine as hell, so I can't fault Jack for being like, yo, I'm gonna see if I can get up into this alien pussy, you know, but it's like so obvious. Like, she literally transforms into a flying monster at one point to fight beside him, and he's still like, whatever. Ikra.
You know what? He's probably thinking, man, this is probably Aku's sister. Once I kill Aku, she's free to go.
Bro, here's the deal. That basically fucking happened in season 5. One of Aku's daughters ends up being his new girlfriend.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Dude, spoilers.
Super weird. Super weird. Who cares? It's like the worst part of season 5.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It was a very underwhelming movie.
All right.
It's unfortunate.
I will say I played one other new video game for once in my goddamn life.
Oh,
Yes, me
I have
too.
something else to talk about too, but after.
Yeah, we can get there.
And we still got a little bit of this PS5 and PC conference shit to talk about.
That's
So let's
yeah, that's
hurry
what I
the
want to
fuck
talk
up.
about.
Because Demon Souls needs to be spoken about. Anyways, I played Slug Life
Oh yeah, how was that?
or Sludge Life.
Oh yeah, I got that
Um,
for free. I was gonna play it, but I forgot.
Yeah.
good?
So I played it for about 45 minutes to an hour.
All right, is it a walking simulator?
I think so.
Do you just kind of walk around, talk to people?
So-
they might hand you an item, and then you take it to somebody
yeah,
else.
Yeah, 100%. So I played the game for 45 minutes, and I still don't know what the game is.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I'm guessing it's just a walking simulator.
But there's been no game. There's been
Like
no.
the only gameplay that there is you walk around tagging shit.
It's just like
It's like
Rebellious,
Jet Set
edgy shit.
It's like Jet Set Radio,
Yeah.
except there's no mission.
you just go around tag shit.
Yeah, but I will say this though. I need to watch a speedrun of this game. If there's a speedrun, I need to watch it because the platforming is actually pretty cool. It's not
there's
tight. It's very loose.
Platforming in this.
It's loose platforming, but it's really good platforming.
So there is gameplay.
There is gameplay. Like the platforming in it looks like it's really cool, and you could do some cool stuff without wall running. But
Because
will be like wall running.
here's the deal. Because like a walking simulator is like what's it
Firewatch.
fucking called? Firewatch or Stanley Parable or Gone Home, where you literally just kind of walk around, and then the game happens around you, and then you walk to the next room, and then the game happens around you, and then maybe you'll press a button, and maybe you'll talk to a character, and they might hand you an item that you will then walk into the next room and hand to another character. You know?
Yeah, so it's not quite like that. It's more like you can go anywhere on the map, and you get items that allow you to get to more places on the map. But for the most part, you're just free to do whatever, and you get to see goofy shit. But
Yeah.
you have like a double jump. That you get a glider at some point. You can. It's physics based, so there's a lot of things like goofy interactions you can do. You can throw cameras at people and laptops at people and whatnot.
Oh, that's my favorite part already.
Like, so anytime you pull up any of your items, you then drop them exactly where you are standing, which is absolutely hilarious.
Okay.
So, like, if you go to take a picture and you don't want to take a picture, you then just chuck your camera.
Oh, okay. So what? So do you have to go back and go grab the camera?
No. Like, it just magnetizes into your hand from wherever it is in the world, and then you chuck it. So, like,
Okay.
it just instantly appears in your hand, and then when you're done with it, you just throw it away. And you collect cigars and stuff, and it's there's some goofy shit in there. I don't know where the gameplay starts, but I want to see a speed run of it just to see how cool the platforming can get.
You know, as much as I dislike walking simulators, there are a few that do something very interesting. With like Stanley Parable is one of them, right?
Yeah.
So-
Stanley Parable is one of the few walking simulators that actually does something interesting with the concept, and unlike fucking Gone Home, which is a big pile of shit, that's just a typical boring ass story about gay chicks, you know, where you do nothing in it. And like the worst part, I'm gonna bitch about Gone Home for real quick.
I'll get back to my point after.
So the worst part about Gone, I'm sorry, the worst part, it can be quick. The worst part about Gone Home is that it builds up and builds up and builds up, and it's like, what happened? Did fucking aliens grab this chick? Like, you're getting this weird sinister vibe, and it's just like, nah, I just ran away from home. All right, go ahead.
So what I was gonna say was, it is kind of amazing that video games is like the only medium where realistically that kind of situation will happen, where you have like an art form that is able to be experienced but with no real point.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of get that shit from like impressionist like painting and shit, but like really there's very little else that you can truly like fully immerse yourself into and also waste time.
Yeah, like a video game, you could just walk around infinitely doing the gameplay loop, essentially.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Like, I could theoretically, in Call of Duty, walk in a circle forever.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't, because pew pew, but, like...
Right.
It's amazing to me that we actually have the, like, kind of medium to do that now. Because, like, no one's gonna fucking watch a movie where there's no point at all, right?
Where there's 45 minutes of staring at an empty paint bucket, and then like 30 minutes of staring at a wall with a little bit of paint on it, and then 15 minutes of a guy with like paint all over his hands and an angry look on his face, and then the movie ends. It's completely fucking pointless and just makes no sense.
Yeah, and I was trying to think like, are there any books like that? Like, I know that there are books and movies that are bad and don't have a plot because they're bad, but very few of them are, like, aiming to be plotless. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because a book wants you to
finish it.
Get to the end.
Yeah, turn the next page.
Yeah. If it's just like, oh, you know what? The Bible has a lot of that. It has, like, history, but they're not integral to the stories that get told, so you're being told like someone's genealogy, or you're being told like how this city came to be when it really doesn't matter. But that's because the Bible was more of like a historical text anyway. It was never meant to be like
a storybook.
Yeah, not like a well-told story. It was supposed to be like
this
story.
Is what happened.
It's like there were stories that were supposed to be more like what happened, but also would tell you a lesson or something, So
yeah.
They weren't really meant to be an exciting tale of intrigue and drama. They're like, hey, don't fuck with lions,
That's my favorite. That's my favorite one.
Yeah. Don't make fun of bald men, or bears will eat you and all your friends. So says I, Yahweh. Anyway, what else were we talking about?
We can talk about this
shit.
PC shit.
Yeah, let's do the PS5 first, because that's the. Well, actually, we'll do PC first and then PS5, because I think we'll have more to talk about with that.
Oh, I already talked about the one thing I care about, which is the spy. Oh wait, was that might have been before?
Yeah, I think that was probably before.
Okay, so the only thing I care about is the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
so
done.
Spider-Man Miles Morales. I guess we'll just talk about the PS5 shit. Fuck it. Spider-Man Miles Morales. We don't know what it is because apparently Sony doesn't know what it is, and Insomniac.
We had the discussion already.
Insomniac mostly does, but
who cares? Twitter's always right? Yeah. All right.
It's just gonna play like the first game. There isn't a 2 after Spider-Man in here, so it's not gonna play that different.
I would say it might have some bug fixes, some maybe some new mechanics. Obviously, because Miles has
it's like
powers, but
it's like a special edition of the Spider-Man game for PS5. It's gonna it'll have like extra Miles Morales game content.
And that's the reason why Sony got fucked up.
Like, yeah, but that's what happens when everyone's trying to market the shit differently, and no one's on the same page. So now it's DLC, it's a sequel, it's an expansion. It's like, no, it's gonna be mostly an expansion type game, like a special edition for Spider-Man for the PS5.
It'll have a full length game, but it's basically just a special edition because of it's using the same type of engine.
Yeah, like
where Spider-Man PS4 cuts to black, this will keep going and you'll play as Miles.
Like I don't understand why this idea is so fucking difficult, because all of the huge flagship games have been doing the same shit.
Yeah.
Like fucking Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's
Great
Creed
game.
4, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed. They all use the same fucking engine. And even, especially 2 Brotherhood and Revelations, they're all talking about the same fucking characters.
Yep.
It's like, is it really that, like, okay,
You've
I
had
get it. There's no
10
2.
years to figure out how to say, this is an expansion to the story. End of story. Is there going to be a new engine? Nah, probably not.
Is
like-
this a side game or is it a mainline game? Duh.
It's its own game.
It's a DLC expansion that's its own game and a sequel.
It's like, it really should not be this fucking hard to just say it's a story expansion. You don't have to
Right.
say it's an
Like-
expansion game or an expansion of the game, but you can say this is happening in the same universe, it's with the same engine, but it is a full-length game.
Yeah.
So they're saying it's standalone, so I'm guessing it means it's its own universe or some shit like that. But
It'll be like
nevertheless,
Wolfenstein,
Oh, the new one?
the Old Blood. Well, the first one where it had the game, but then it also had like a DLC campaign that basically ran by itself.
Oh, like
know?
Far Cry 3.
Yeah,
Blood
where
Dragon,
they had
baby.
yeah, exactly. It would be just like that.
Yeah. Alright.
Which I don't know why that was so difficult for them. Let's talk about this Ratchet and Clank shit real fast.
Do we,
Okay, so
are they still
just me or
relevant?
did it look-
I didn't...
Well, they keep Ratchet and Clank games now seem to be like the game, like kind of like how Knack was, where it's the game that shows off what the machine can do now. This
Yeah.
is their new. This is what Ratchet and Clank is for now.
So,
It's a
is it
tech
just
demo,
me,
basically.
or did Ratchet and Clank seem really dumb this time around? Like, it just looked
Oh, this
real
time?
bad.
This time it's dumb. This
Okay,
time.
Okay, so the last one that I enjoyed was on the PS2. So, That tells you anything.
The PS4 one with the movie was not good either.
no, was not. Even though it was just a rehash of the first one.
Pretty much. So, I mean, this looks about bog standard for Ratchet and Clank as far as I know.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like the teleport forward system or whatever, showing how strong the system is, so there's no loading or whatever. So you're basically fast traveling to that one spot,
Yeah.
you know. But it's also the kind of thing where I'm like, that power could just be a dash in any other game. You know, a double jump and a dash. You don't need it to be this big complicated throw a thing, latch onto this big option point, pull, teleport me over, and then it just could just be a double jump and a dash.
I was watching it and I just didn't really comprehend any of the fuck shit what was going on. I was just like, all right, cool. Who cares?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Can you
I
explain
think
to me?
here's the deal. So the you know the bit where he's like falling through the wormhole.
Look terrible.
Well, here's the deal. If like where it shows all those other worlds, if you can fall into that initial wormhole
And go
And
to
then-
any of them.
and go to any of those other wormholes and they just load instantly,
Okay,
then that's good.
that'd be badass. If not, it just looks like a covered up loading screen.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so we'll see.
Right. That's all I have
Oh,
to say
also,
about
I want to shit on GTA 5 real quick. Stop releasing this game, Sony or whoever the fuck. Stop putting out this game,
What's it called?
Rockstar, because
Rockstar, yeah.
y'all had like 3 or 4 different GTA games in 8 years before, and you've had the same fucking shit one sticking around, rotting and stinking up the coffers for the last 8 years. So,
that. I just want a new city.
can we get GTA 6 now, please? No one gives a fuck about GTA 5. If they weren't playing it before, offering $1 million of your fake money now isn't going to get people into it.
Just give me a new city.
Just something new, please.
Just open up a new server. Call it GTA 6. Don't give us any story. No, I'm kidding.
Just drop us in. But anyway, go ahead with what you were going to do.
Oh, I was just gonna shit on Ratchet and Clank a little bit more.
Oh, there's a girl Ratchet now.
Wasn't there a girl a couple of games ago?
Probably, but
Probably.
people forgot about that. This one is in the new PS5 model, so it's all
this one is a
ripe
different
for the art.
This one is just Ratchet, but from a different universe.
This one's Ratchet, but it has a vagina, so you want to fuck it now.
So is that... I guess that's masturbation.
No,
'Cause it's not
she's-
incest.
It's a
It's
girl
different
now.
universe,
It's
so
a different
just
person.
A whole different
Yeah,
person.
yeah. If it was like
It's just normal sex.
a total clone of you in this world that had all your memories and all your shit going on, it was just you, then it would be masturbation probably. Well, it would be masturbation if they had like a
With an
toe still
asterisk.
attached to you or
It would just be
something.
with an asterisk next to it.
Yeah, but if it's like you go to a different universe and there's a hot big titty
Asterisk
version of you.
God damn it. Sorry.
If there's like if you go to an alternate universe and there's like a big titty version of you, that's a different, like it's like a girl and shit.
Alright.
It's like a completely different person. Then
Let's
yeah,
just
sure,
get-
fine.
All right, we're done. Gran Turismo 7
Who
looks
cares?
beautiful. Who cares?
Gives a
looks
fuck?
beautiful. Who cares?
Do we
Stop releasing car games. No one gives a goddamn. Gran Turismo.
like, is there anything on this list? I know you mentioned Solar Ash before.
Project Athia looks Dark Soulsy, but there was no gameplay, so who cares?
Yep.
Stray looks like some epic Reddit bacon garbage that I don't care about. So
Godfall
don't-
looks like it has amazing gameplay, but
don't-
why the fuck did they show it like that?
want to shit on Sackboy: A Big Adventure real quick? Stop
No.
putting out Sackboy games. No one gives a fuck. Destruction All Stars looks like Rocket League combined with Fortnite, so fuck that game.
Yeah.
Kena Bridge of Spirits looks like generic
Look fi-
fantasy bullcrap.
It looked fine. It looked fine. Like it
Looked
looked
fine.
average, but it
It
looked
looked-
fine.
Beautiful, but it looks like it'll have shit gameplay. Goodbye Volcano High looks like the biggest pile of shit I've ever seen in my entire life. I hate games that look like, I hate anything that looks like this. I hate people who fetishize and romanticize high school life, because who gives a fuck. Oddworld Soulstorm. I don't know anything about Oddworld, so
I forgot what that was even, so I'm looking at it real quick.
Like, do we have to go over all these games? I feel like we don't have to.
no. I'm about to start skipping. Ghostwire Tokyo. I was surprised that it was first person, but looks fine. Looks fun. You can fight fucking Slender Man with a umbrella, which is cool.
Oh, okay, so Oddworld was one of the ones I actually did want to talk about. Other than gameplay, I actually think the story may be interesting. But
I mean, those games have been out for like 30 years, so
oh, have they? Never mind.
Yeah.
I won't jump in it now.
yeah, okay, so whatever. Godfall, Solar Ash. I talked about that a little bit off podcast. It's from the people it's from Heart Machine, who made Hyper Light Drifter. This looks like it's basically gonna be Hyper Light Drifter but 3D.
Yep.
I didn't really like Hyper Light Drifter. I was kind of bored. Gameplay was, I don't know, not that good to me, and kind of just walking around finding shit was a pain in the ass. But I get lost easily, so there's also that. It kind of felt like one of those games where it was praised more for its visuals than it was for its actual gameplay. But hopefully Solar Ash being 3D feels better for whatever reason. Maybe. Who fucking knows? But we'll see.
I will say, Goodbye Volcano High. I like the art style.
I actually think I know who the artist is that is doing this. That actually the style is from. And I actually like their art a lot, but I just hate and don't give a fuck about stories that are about your sad high school life. I don't give a shit.
I have my own sad high school life, and nobody gave a shit.
It's not even that. It's like I'm so apathetic about high school shit that whenever I see it used to try to tell a
All right. So
meaningful story, I want to shit on it.
the only other things I really care about are Demon Souls and.
All right. Well, I got shit that I care about, so shut up.
Okay. All right. I'm shutting up again.
Little Devil Inside looks fun. Looks like it'll be on some fucking Legend of Zelda shit where you're just kind of walking around. We're going into dungeons and getting all fucked up. It looks fun. Hopefully the gameplay plays well. It's already being fixed because it had some like pretty like racist stereotypical depictions of some certain tribal people.
Gotcha.
So that's getting fixed.
But yeah, that game does look like it's a lot of fun.
Bug Snacks has like a
wait,
horrifying implication, but otherwise looks like shit.
So
Deathloop?
Hold on, 1 second, motherfucker. Hold
God
on.
damn it.
Going
I'm
back
try-
to Little Devil Inside.
Uh,
Little Devil Inside. That the whole trailer made me think of the one story. Motherfucker, made me forget the fucking story now. God damn it.
oh,
The one where it's the dude who thinks windmills are fucking dragons and they need to be slain.
Oh, Don Quixote.
Thank you. That trailer made me think of Don Quixote. That's what I wanted to say, but you motherfucker kept talking. All right.
Sorry. I mean, I'm just looking at the stuff I kind of had some interest in. You know.
Oh my
I can't
god!
read
I
what
just saw
this-
the part
Of what?
of the little devil inside.
Oh yeah. It looks pretty good. I'm kind of excited for it.
Like-
and they had the little tribal guys running around and shit. Yeah.
That's come on, guys.
I'm not sure
Resident
what
Evil
this
5
game
was
is.
released like 10 years. Did we not learn our lesson?
I remember when everybody was going off about that in magazines and shit about how Resident Evil 5 was super racist, and I was like, it kind of just isn't fun to play. So, all right. So I don't know what this game is under Bug Snacks. I can't really read it, so we'll just skip that. Death.
You know, it's in Latin, so I understand. But I happen to speak Latin. It is Demons Saels.
Sounds like
I don't know what that
garbage.
means
Must be
in
some-
English, so
it's from Blue Point. I don't know.
I
who
heard
they are.
I heard some bad things about them.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll just skip it because it looks like garbage.
Yeah, of course.
so
But you know,
Deathloop
the
looks
screenshots.
awesome.
The screenshots were pretty ass. You know, they weren't great at all. They changed.
You know what,
the
man?
coloring.
The whole mood of Demon Souls
It's
is
been ruined.
one thing,
Just
and now
absolutely ruined.
They've completely
and you know what?
ruined it
They're
by
going to change the
remastering
gameplay
and-
too.
yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
you just can't have the
just
gameplay
get the-
changed,
let's
even
just
though the
get it out
gameplay was
there.
pretty ass. You know, you can't have that changed at all. No. You know all the things
Yeah.
that people are happy that they fixed in the newer Souls games. If you went
People,
back-
but here's the deal. I think people are suspicious because the Dark Souls remaster was so, you know, shoddy and suspicious and of its shit. But this is like a whole remake or whatever. So, you know, I think it's just Demon Souls could use some fucking updates. So I'm sure that they won't fuck it up too bad.
they could use some fucking updates.
Like there are those crazies who like Demon Souls because it's a jank piece of shit, but the rest of us want a good game. Want the perfect version of a game that's pretty alright to play. So
I'm one of those crazy people who like the jank bullshit.
Yeah.
But most of the jank bullshit I like will not be compromised if they fixed it.
right, it probably wouldn't be.
Like the only thing I really cared about was the fact that because of the jank bullshit, I learned how to play the game without knowing there was a lock-on system until 4 hours into the game.
Damn, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, yeah, I think you told me about that actually. Yeah.
I tell everybody about that because I'm like, it's the only reason why I was decent at using like big weapons in the newer Souls games.
Because all you just had to swing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So Demon Souls, it's not Elden Ring, so who cares?
Still no Elden Ring.
Did I say anything about Project Athia? Yeah, I did. It looked like Dark Souls. There's like a big dragon. Looks like a big fucking Dark Souls dragon. So another thing about Project Athia is that it's very clear that it's trying to be another Dark Souls. A lot of these games actually are like Sony's like, all right, we don't really have the control over FromSoft that we thought we had, so we're gonna make a bunch of Dark Souls like games.
Can I just say how Square Enix always captivates me with their fucking beautiful goddamn artwork.
Did Square Enix have something here?
That's Project Athia.
Oh, really? Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't. It looks cool, but I didn't really give a shit because there wasn't any gameplay. So
Yeah. Well, there was a little bit of gameplay, but it was on rails gameplay. So
yeah, so not really gameplay. It's like
Yeah.
the Solar Ash gameplay where literally the character takes 2 steps and then the cutscene stuff happens.
gameplay trailer. 15 minutes in, last 2 seconds of it, they just shuffle. All right, that's
Yeah.
it.
That's where Microsoft fucked up because they were like, we're gonna show off this Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay, and then there was literally 0 gameplay. But then they were like, no, there was a little bit of gameplay.
You
And
see them climbing up that building? That was gameplay.
It was like a half-second frame of fucking gameplay.
I hate when companies do that when they use the in-game like engine and models and shit, because that's like under the depth. I remember there was some fucking trailer that did this recently, where they're like, that is technically gameplay, because like the game was running it, but it's like this is this is not how it's gonna run. Like,
Well, it's like Anthem had that fucking when they first showed their shit for realsies. It was obviously fake gameplay. It was way better looking than it should have for a game at that point in its development. It was like way too smooth. You know, it just you could tell it was not real gameplay.
yeah,
Like the shit and like these videos are always running on like crazy powerful shit anyway. So you know, it's never gonna be as good looking as they showed. Like Spider-Man when they were first showing that off. there was that big stink about how the puddles don't look like how they used to when they were showing the preview shots and shit. So it's like, stop trying to trick us. We know.
We like at this point we know.
Yeah.
We know. Calm down, you guys. Even if you trick some people, you're not going to trick the majority.
You're not going to trick the people who you need to be tricking, because they'll just go to all the people who got tricked and be like, y'all got tricked!
Yeah.
Motherfuckers, calm down.
The whole point that it's so like, I understand where the companies are coming from for a lot of this shit, but it's like the only people who give two flying fucks about all this shit that you're talking about and trying to go in depth for are the people that are not going to be fooled by the shit that you say.
Right, exactly. You're showing us all like these, like, look at our SSDs and our ray tracing and all this shit, and it's like, so you're saying all that shit, but you still think we're gonna fall for the fake gameplay trailers?
You're talking about all that shit, but you still think 30 FPS is good.
you think we're just gonna be like, you think you think you can have your cake and eat it too? You think you can lie to our faces and treat us like we know what we're talking about? It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, Deathloop. Don't know how I feel about this game. It's just another death mechanic game. But like, it's like you die, then the whole night starts over, and there are other assassins who are just like me, and it's like, is this gonna be a hero shooter?
I think it'll be cool if it's a single player game, and every time you kill a boss, you change the boss you killed, and
okay.
And they all have the ability to have death loop, but their death loop only ends after they kill a certain target. Yeah. So every time you kill your target, that person goes into their death loop.
I think the thing was like, you have to kill all of them. I think they said.
Yeah.
You have to kill everyone else there in one night to end your loop or whatever.
But then at the very end of it, it shows you playing as the last girl he killed.
Well, I'm thinking it's going to be a hero shooter because there are multiple characters. You know.
I know.
Each one will definitely have different types of abilities.
I just want it to be a single player game where you play as multiple characters with different abilities.
It's gonna end up being like another Overwatch, Valorant, that type of shit with
a single player game on the side.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's ended up getting, because you look at the way it's like made, like look at the way everything is kind of set up, where it's so obviously set up for that. It's
set. You know what? It might be set up for some sort of co-op type game where you could play versus mode, but but
it's like a first person, like shooter game where there's a Wolfen Doom.
It's like a Dishonored game almost.
Yeah. So we'll see, because at first I was like, oh cool, I like this character, he's a cool main character, a protagonist for this thing, but it really feels like that was more just a character trailer for one of the characters in the series. You know, like I feel like in a couple of weeks we'll probably get one for another character that's in here.
Yeah, like I said, if it's a single player game where after you kill a boss, or like you do your rounds and kill all the people, you then play as one of the other people going through their death loop, like, fuck, he killed me this time, and they go and do their whole thing.
Or like, because like in Hades, there's a thing where after you beat a boss enough times, they get switched out for another boss.
Mm-hmm.
Certain bosses. So like the first boss will get switched out for one of her sisters and stuff like that, where it would be cool if it's kind of like an open map, I guess, and then you've got the people walking around, but you might this one area might start with this character, but sometimes it might start with this other character who's been looking for you or whatever. But
or like maybe the target to kill to make the night end changes.
It's different, yeah. But I mean, but again, it really just looks like it's gonna be on some Team Fortress 2 shit,
Yeah.
Which that doesn't mean it's gonna be bad.
No.
It's just not the kind of game I want to play.
Yeah. Don't. It looks like it's gonna be fun though, because the amount of powers that you have just shown off in that first thing, like you'll be able to approach it in so many different ways that it actually might be a lot of fun.
All right, time for the one thing I'm actually genuinely excited for. Resident Evil 8 Village looks fucking great. Got Bloodborne werewolves, got hot vampire chicks, got all kinds of weird monsters that look like they're from fucking Resident Evil 4. Chris is back. He kills your wife.
Yeah, I was gonna say
she was probably a zombie.
Capcom 5.
I'm excited. It looks really good, and if it's anything like 7, it's gonna be pretty good. So, I'm looking forward to it. I got not really much to say about it. This isn't a surprise though, because everything about Village got leaked like a few months ago, even. I think like the first Resident Evil 8 being called Village stuff was coming out in like I want to say March, and then it started trickling out. Again, Capcom is a fucking leaky ship. They cannot keep shit from getting leaked at all.
It's like pouring water through sand. It's just gonna come out the other side.
But yeah. So Resident Evil. So here's the thing about like horror games, like survival horror games, especially like the Resident Evil games. It's always a mansion, a mansion, a village, a science lab, or a castle. In like most survival horror games, for whatever reason. And now Resident Evil is going. So they did 7, which was basically a mansion. It was a big ass house, like an estate basically. And now they're doing a village. So people are like, well, what's the next one going to be? Is the next one going to be Resident Evil Science Lab? Which I would not be against. But people were like, there's a mansion or a castle in this one too, from some of the shots they were seeing. So who knows? Maybe it'll just be all the games. I don't know what Pragmatic is, so fuck it. Horizon Forbidden West. Don't really care about this game at all, but I just wanted to.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, people were making fun of how is Horizon Zero Dawn gonna have a sequel? How are you gonna do it? You know, I actually think this is a really classy way of doing it. Like Horizon is the name of the series, and then like Zero Dawn was the subtitle, and now Horizon Forbidden West. Forbidden West is the new subtitle. So, all right, you got us. Whatever. And then the PS5 console, which was, you know, a PlayStation. It's big as fuck.
It is.
Probably not backwards compatible.
I hope the controller feels nice.
It probably will. The PS4 controller feels nice. So if this is just that, but kind of rounder, maybe, you know,
I'm just worried about the handles being too big.
I'm worried about the triggers, really.
That too, yeah.
Because I can kind of handle the size of the actual controller, but like the triggers being so easily pressed is kind of a problem. They showed 2 versions, the digital version and the big old fat pregnant CD version. You know what? I'll probably, depending on the price, I'll probably end up just going with the digital version.
I'm waiting
I don't buy too many
for
hard
them
games
to
anymore.
announce anything about backwards compatibility before I decide on which one I want to get.
That's true. If they have backwards compatibility, then I'll definitely get the CD version.
Yeah, just like look, if you made me pay an extra $150 for that, sure, why the fuck not? I'm gonna go grab my PS3 games right now.
Right. Well, even then, like, you know, maybe not 150. That's a little crazy. I could just buy a $100 PS3 somewhere.
That's true.
Shit, I could buy like a fucking $60 PS2 somewhere. If I want backwards shit that bad. But anyway, yeah, like it's I don't know. They have been talking about backwards compatibility, so I'm not even sure it's gonna happen. So we'll see. Nothing else about it really. They're pushing the fucking headphones and all that other fucking bullshit like we don't got that shit already.
Let's move on to the PC stuff, shall we?
Hell yeah. Don't buy ooblets. More Godfall.
Torchlight 3, I don't even know, but it seems... I like the first two.
I was gonna say, I like the first 2 as well, so...
I never played any of those games.
The second one was fun with friends, but it wasn't... Like, it was okay. I don't know. It was very... I'm surprised that they were successful enough to get a third game.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Especially seeing that very few people talk about it.
I mean, it's
Wait,
like
Cameron-
fun, but like I'd rather play Diablo.
holy
Yeah,
shit,
same. What's up?
Did we talk about, was Godfall that game that was that fucking where I was like, it looks like it's trying to appeal to the Fortnite crowd?
Yes.
Yeah, that game looks like shit.
The trailer looks like shit. The fighting mechanics look like shit, but it looks.
The
like
animations do not look good, and they do not look tight.
No, they don't. Like, the thing about it, that so I enjoyed the visuals of it for a little bit, but then they kept going on saying like, "You'll look godlike," and I'm like,
Yeah,
you look
it
dumb.
felt
You look
that
real dumb."
Shit. Yeah, it was. I was not feeling that for a while.
Anytime they mentioned the armor and how cool you look and whatnot, I was just like, no. This
You
is
want to
not.
know why? You want to know why they kept talking about the fucking armor and how cool you'll look? Because they're going to be selling cosmetics to you later, and they're trying to get you hyped
You're
for
right.
it now.
You're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
And it just looked bad. So we're just gonna get over that. Like it looked
The
like it
only-
could be a fun game.
Good.
I was saying it looked like it could be a fun game. It's just I hate it the way they marketed it. So
Yeah.
The only 2 games that I give a shit about on this entire list. Actually, I guess there's 3, but 2 of them are already out, so who gives a shit? Elite Dangerous Odyssey, because I'm actually a large fan of the Elite Dangerous game, but I haven't played a ton, but I like watching it and the idea of it. So I'm down for a new expansion. Persona 4 Golden is out on Steam, and
It was out a few hours before the fucking PC show even fucking started, which is where they announced it.
I have already poured like 5 hours into it, despite essentially not starting it up until Sunday night.
Yeah.
So-
Whenever I finally finish Fallout New Vegas, which I started, I'm gonna jump into Persona 4 Gold.
It is. I will say, I think Persona 5 is better. Like, Persona 5 has a lot more. And this is. I haven't played all the way through Persona 4, but I know what happens, and I've
Well-
played through most of it on my PS Vita.
Is it like a thing where, also rest in peace Vita, you got grave robbed from one last,
Yeah. One last piece of.
gold nugget. So is it the kind of thing where like P5 has like just better gameplay?
It's
and
very similar.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Well, because I know Golden is like the ultimate like Persona 4 experience, basically, where it's got all the it's got a bunch of extra stuff. It's got all the like fixes and new voice acting and stuff like that.
Yeah. So P5, like, they added a few things. So, like, one of the things that happens in Persona is you can change personas on the main character, and that's like swapping out your, like your character or your stats and shit.
Right.
But in Persona 5, and this is like a quality of life thing, is it's not a permanent switch. Like, you can switch as many times as you want your persona until you use the persona. So you can't like swap to one and then use its ability and then swap to another one.
Okay.
Which is like, it's a fair, right? So it's like you're not
Yeah.
locked into it until you like use it. But in Persona 4, you can only swap once per turn, like whether or not you use it. So there's some like quality of life stuff that like happens in Persona 5, and I think Persona 5 is just presented better, I guess. I think like Persona 5 is very stylish, and like that's probably the first thing people will mention. But it's one of the few things that
Well,
like,
I know that Persona 4 is where that style kind of started, and then Persona 5 is where it started to take over the whole like aesthetic.
yeah, I feel like it's like it's one of those things where it's way like more pronounced in Persona 5, and Persona 5 also had like a better overarching. I think it had like a better way to tell the story, because there's always a reason for you to continue moving forward in Persona 5, and in Persona 4 it's very like up in the air as far as like that shit is concerned.
Is Persona 4 more like
It's in the moment.
you're driven to do it because in that moment you're driven to do it, but Persona 5 is more like you're driven to do it because at the end game there's something you've got a goal you're working towards.
Well, it's like, okay, so I can tell you a bit of the like the premise of Persona 5 as far as the story is concerned. Basically, you beginning of the game you get arrested, and the first like few dungeons, like the majority of the game, is you telling your story to the police. So it's very like there's a reason to keep going because you want to see how you got there, right? But in Persona 4,
Can I
you
just say,
don't really get that.
I just say I kind of hate that storytelling.
No, it's fucking
That kind of
great.
storytelling. Is it? Okay.
Persona 5 does it
Because I
super well.
prefer stories just kind of starting at the beginning, and then just doing a thing from there. Like a lot of Hulk stories do this, where he's in the middle of transforming into the Hulk, and then it's like, pause. Yep, that's me. But you're wondering how he got in this situation. You know, so.
But no, it's
That only
well done in
works, like,
Persona.
once.
It's well done in Persona 5. Like, it's super well done in Persona 5.
Okay.
Not to mention, it's also not the... Like, there's also, like, a lot of stuff that comes after it that's, like, very, like, story-heavy. So, it's not, like,
Right.
that's the big... Anyway, Persona 4 doesn't have that kind of, like, sense of impending, like, shit like that. So, it's a little bit harder for me to, like, stay interested in it. And I'm on the second to last dungeon in my PS Vita run. Like, I'm at the boss of the second to last dungeon. So, I've made it almost all the way through the game.
How familiar are you with all the Persona's games?
I am most familiar with Persona 5, and I've played most of Persona 4. I know a little bit the story of Persona 3, and Persona 2 I think has Hitler in it, and I think that's it.
Okay. Because I was wondering if the Persona games... I know they're kind of like this, but I was wondering if they're like JoJo, where... JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where each part is meant to have like a different tone. It's meant to... Like, it's an almost completely different story.
Yeah,
Every time.
There are some, like, it's pretty much like a Final Fantasy game where you, like, they're all like not connected.
Right, okay.
There's like some exceptions. So like I know in Persona 2 there's like a party member that was in Persona 1 or something like that. And there's Persona Q, which has characters from 3 and 4.
Okay.
And like there's nods to the other games. Like Persona 5, you're like a country hick who comes to the city, and in Persona 4 you're a city boy who goes to the country. So there's like stuff like that.
I see.
But for the most part they're pretty separate.
Is it ever like... How often is it like, you didn't play the last game, so you don't get this?
I mean, they pretty much spell out everything you need to know, and all the stories are pretty self-contained. That's all that really matters. There might be like some character, like there's sometimes, you know, like where characters might show up that you're like, oh, that's this character. I know that happens in Persona 2, and it's like expansion set that's like a full game by itself. There's like a character that shows up that was a playable character that's just an NPC now, but like you don't miss anything for like not knowing that they're there.
Okay.
My the most fucking Persona experience I have is a little bit of 5 and getting hella good at Persona 4 Arena.
P4 Arena, please. No.
That's all I got. P5 Arena, please.
I actually want that so bad.
Me too.
I would love that, actually, even though I don't care about that.
All right, let's wrap this up.
All right. I love fighting games. Anyways, where can we find you, Deshaun?
You can find me at Mr. Urban Buddha on YouTube and Super Urban Buddha on Twitter on Super Urban Buddha on Twitch and Mr. Urban Buddha on YouTube.
All right, and where can we find you, Derek?
Everything came in second. Twitter specifically, real_CAS.
You can find me at I Press the Buttons at some places like Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. You guys take care, and as always, laugh at yourself. We'll catch you guys next time.
Once upon a time, a blue-eyed boy from the Old West learned one of life's cruelest lessons, that evil was bigger than his gun. So he followed the footsteps of a mysterious master to the Far East, where he learned the secrets of the sword and came back home with the heart of a gunman and the soul of a samurai.
Johnny had a dream of being the biggest hero round. There wouldn't be an enemy that he could not put down with a gun. Then one day Johnny met his match and turned his world around. He changed his name and learned the Shogun way of land of the rising sun, rising day. Samurai gunmen, rising day. Johnny no more.
You have finally made it, my son. son. This is the last test and my final lesson for you.